Hey everybody, it's Naya. Welcome back to Naya Reads and Smiles. I read 5 books this month, you guys. I told you, I'm back in the groove of things. I'm like so into reading right now. Just like reading and watching K-dramas. It's just like my life currently. The first book I read this month, you guys, that 120% lived up to the hype. And Ember in the Ashes by Sabata here. I was super scared going into this book. I just heard so much good talk. I've heard so many good things about this book that I was afraid it was gonna be overhyped, and I was fearful, you guys. I just kind of just overthink this book. I just didn't know what to expect, okay? Like, my expectations were all over the place. Like amazing books do, this one just completely blew me out of the water, you guys. Okay, this book is told from 2 different characters' point of view. It's told from Elias and Laya. And it's so funny, the main character's name is Laya, L-A-I-A, and my name is Naya, N-A-I-A. Well, it's legally spelled with an I. As you guys know, I kind of cheat a little and spell it with Y. The entire time whenever I read the word Laya, I kept thinking it was my name, Naya, and this has never happened before in a book because my name's, well, my name's Hawaiian and you don't really hear it often, I guess, in books. Yeah, I thought that was kind of funny. Okay, let's just get back to the plot, okay? Laya, our main female character, ends up becoming a slave, not by want. She ends up being a slave for this commander that is evil, and I wanted to murder her the entire book in this camp that trains soldiers. And not just any soldiers, we're talking the most brutal, like, no-feeling soldiers there are. Elias, if you can guess, is being trained as a soldier. What I love the most about this book, though, was it wasn't just like 100% romance, if that makes any sense. Like, there was no insta-love, there was no just like unrealistic falling in love of, like, you know, slave and soldier. It wasn't like that at all, and like I was more concerned with like the character's life and like if they would survive this book than I was about the whole romance of it. I gave this book a 10 out of 10, and you can 100% tell by the way the author finishes writing the book that it's no way gonna be a standalone. Like 100% sequel, 100% pre-ordering that sequel. The next book, this little book right here, has been taken over the booktube lately. Red Queen by Victoria Aveyard. Okay, I have like mixed emotions about this book. I did post the Friday reads where I was telling you guys that it wasn't really living up to the hype for me. I gave this book a 6 out of 10. I started reading this book, and when I started reading it, it felt like every book I've ever read in my life. No, I mean, okay, that's a little bit of an exaggeration. Based off what the back of the book says, like, let me read you the back of this book real quick. In school, we learned about the world before ours, about the angels and gods that lived in the sky, ruling the earth with kind and loving hands. Some say these are just stories, but I don't believe that. The gods rule us still. They have come down from the stars, and they are no longer kind. Just by that little, like, little thing in the back, like, my mind was expecting big things from this book. The writing was really great, but as far as the plot and the story, I found it very predictable. Everyone said there was a huge plot twist at the ending, but I swear I predicted that from like page 100. I kid you not. I am not just saying this to be that one person who just like completely doesn't like the book, but I have to be honest with you guys. Would I recommend this book to a friend? Maybe. This book takes place in a world where people are divided based off their blood. There's silver blood, which if you have silver blood you have powers, and then there's red blood, which is you're just like a normal human like me. Okay, here's the thing. I feel like it was like X-Men meets The Darkest Minds meets like Hunger Games meets like I don't know, meets like some princess book. Like I said, the writing was great. Like, I loved Victoria Aveyard's writing. Like, I could read her writing forever, and that's why I think I read this book so fast, was because of the writing. But as far as the characters and just the plot and just like the kind of idea of there being like, you know, a society divided by blood and people having powers, like, it wasn't anything surprising for me, and yeah, it was a 6 out of 10, guys. I'm sorry. I'm gonna have to take it down a notch and just like kind of calm myself with this book, because this book... Let me just put this out there first. I went into this book thinking that it was a young adult book about like, you know, like a stalker story similar to Stolen, you know, that kind of thing. I was wrong. like really, really wrong. This is definitely an adult fiction novel, and I'm just gonna put a little warning out there. Because it is an adult fiction novel, it does have a lot of adult content in it, so for all my younger viewers out there, I would not, like, you know, recommend this to you. I don't want to get in trouble with your parents or anything. It's an adult novel, so I'm just gonna put that out there first, and so be warned if you decide to pick it up. Holy sweet Jesus cupcakes! Okay, I would have finished it in one sitting if I didn't have school and, like, you know, life responsibilities. So this book is told in second person, and it's written from the mind of a sociopath named Joe. This book scared the heebie-jeebies out of me, but I could not stop reading it. It's like one of those horror movies that you watch, but you know it's probably gonna give you nightmares, but it's just so addictive and you have to know what happens that you just keep reading it. Okay, first of all, Caroline Kepnes. Her writing is amazing. I honestly felt like I was reading in the mind, like I felt like I was in the mind of a sociopath, like someone who just like does not see things like you're supposed to. He sees things in a really sick, distorted way, and it was just so, like, my heart was pounding the entire time I was reading this book. Like, it's been a long time since a book's made me feel this way. I don't mean like because it's a good book, I just mean because Joe, our main character, he, like, everything he does in the book, even though you know it's like so wrong, like he has a logical reasoning for everything, and he like analyzes everything, and he just, it's kind of like, I forgot what it's called. We learned about this in English class. Like, the way it's written is very much like a stream of consciousness way of writing. That's why it feels like you're in Joe's head, is because, like, you know, in your own head, you're just thinking of a bunch of random things sometimes that don't even have to, like, pertain to the situation you're in. And this book, like, definitely just captured that whole, like, I'm in this head of a sociopath. 11 out of 10. It has been a while since I've rated a book 11 out of 10, but you guys, if you love, like, creepy, like, kind of disturbing but extremely addictive, suspenseful, Criminal Minds-esque books, you will absolutely love this. The next book I read and thoroughly page flagged. I used my entire sheet of page flags on this book. Big Magic by Elizabeth Gilbert. Now this book is, I guess you could say falls into the self-help genre. I was looking in to see what genre it falls into, but yeah, it definitely falls into the self-help genre. Elizabeth Gilbert wrote Eat, Pray, Love, which was turned into a movie. It was like this huge phenomenon. Oprah, I think it was like Oprah's book of the month at some point too. Same author wrote this amazing book, and it is about creative living beyond fear, and I honestly recommend this book to every single person, no matter what age you are. This book will just make you see life and see sort of living creatively and just kind of doing things on a whim in a completely different perspective, and I think it just kind of changes your mindset, and it's so motivational. You guys have no idea how much inspiration and motivation I've took from this book, and I think maybe if you need that kick, or if you need motivation, read this book. It's not like your typical self-help book where it's like, meditate every day, you know, do yoga, eat healthy. Like, it's advice that you don't normally get, and I love that about this book, and I love how unconventional it is, and I think this is like what everybody needs to read in school, in life. Just, it's an amazing book. 10 out of 10, definitely all the way. The last book that I read that I'm not really sure counts as a book because technically it's like a collection of poems, but it is the complete poetry collection of Maya Angelou. Maya Angelou is a huge inspiration for me as a writer, as like a woman of color. Just like, I love her so much, and my dad actually got this book for me. It was like an awesome surprise. My dad doesn't usually buy me books that often because I usually like buy myself books. He told me that he got this book for me and that I better mention it in my video or that he's gonna return it, so I gotta mention it in this video. She has written hundreds of poems and they're just so relatable. There's some about love, about life, about sadness, about everything, and you know, because it's poetry, you can get done with this book in an hour. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, keep reading, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye!